What up? I'm gonna teach you guys this bubble effect that I created for a previous music video. It's pretty simple overall. So we're gonna start a new comp here and we'll just name it bubble effect, right? And you could do this at any aspect ratio, but I'm just gonna go with 1620 by 1080. We're gonna extend that comp duration. Yeah, so we'll get that comp made. I'm gonna use some footage from that same music video that I directed and edited. Alright, so first step obviously is getting your footage into your comp. Grab a point in the middle here and we're gonna fit it to our comp. For this shot, it's just a still tripod shot. If you want it for a shot that's moving, you're gonna have to 3D camera track it into the scene. I'm gonna just do it on this tripod shot for transparency purpose. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new solid. And then we're gonna get CC particle world. This is where things get a little tricky, right? First thing, we're gonna go into our producer here. We're gonna move the producer all the way up so we don't really see where it's spawning from, right? And then we're going to go into our physics and we're gonna line up the floor with wherever the floor is in your shot. Mine is like about down here. It doesn't have to be exact because the particles will mostly disappear before they hit the floor anyways. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to particle. Hold up. I'm not in particle, here it is, particle. We're gonna put the particle type to bubble for obvious reasons. For the coloring, you could obviously just do like white, but in my scene, as you can see, it's a bit of a warmer scene, so we'll do like an orange and like a kind of a reddish, like grayish color somewhere around here. I don't know. It's not too important because you're gonna end up making this layer pretty low opacity in the end anyways. So if you play it back, as you can see right now, it's coming out way too quick. So we're gonna drop our gravity in the physics here. We're gonna drop that to 0. We're gonna put the resistance at 1, and now you can see it's coming out much slower, but it's like not going down far enough. To change this so they go down further, we're gonna change the longevity. We're gonna change that to about 5 seconds. And now you can see there's way too many fucking bubbles on the screen. And so we're gonna drop this to usually like about 0.5. You know, you can fuck with this however you want. If you want a shit ton of bubbles, you want a shit ton of bubbles, you know. I might raise the producer a bit more just because I don't like how you can see them like flying out like that. I feel like this is good right here. All right, now that we have our bubbles set up, I'm gonna do one quick thing. If you press Y, you'll get into this mode here where you can drag the timeline of the bubbles. We're just gonna drag that over so they're already animating in when the clip starts. Now we have our bubbles fully set up, right? What we want is you know, when like bubbles or like glass or anything like that crosses over a surface, there's gonna be some displacement of light behind it, just because that's how light interacts with or refracts through glass and bubbles and whatnot. So we need to recreate that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a displacement map reference first. So we're gonna duplicate this particle world, and we want to make sure all the settings related to like how much the particles are producing, blah blah blah, we want all that to stay the same so that it all lines up, right? We're gonna change a few things here though. We're gonna drop the birth size to maybe like 0.15. You can kind of mess with this how you like. You might actually do 0.2. We want to drop it just barely a bit smaller, and then we want to bring up the opacity all the way to 100, and we're going to set both colors to white. We also want to add a fast box blur on this layer, and we're going to do it to like about 2. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a black solid below this. Let's just turn this off for now. And so now this is going to be our displacement reference layer. So we're going to pre-compose these together. Make sure you select move all your attributes. We're going to turn this one off again, turn our original bubble layer back on. We're going to add an adjustment layer, put this below everything, and we're going to add a chromatic displacement. Now this is where you might want to drop the opacity of your bubbles so we can tune this effect in. So we'll put these to like 25% for now. We might raise it, we might keep it there, we'll see. We want chromatic displacement from the Red Giant plugin. If you don't want to buy this, there's ways to crack it. If you want the sauce, buy my pack, link in the description. But we're gonna set this displacement layer to the displacement reference, and then we're gonna just boost this like a shit ton. All right, maybe not completely with 500. All right, after messing with the settings a little bit more, I ultimately decide on these settings, 0.175 for the size, and then on the displacement turning the softman displacement to just 1 pixel. That way, otherwise if you bring it up, you'll see it kind of bleeds out the edges here. And yeah, now we got our realistic bubbles. Like I said, if you want it behind the subject, you could rotoscope them out. You could even add 2 of these layers so you can have some behind, some in front. You could also motion track this into scenes if it's a moving scene. Yeah, that's the bubble effect type shit. Hope y'all learned something from this.